I think we can get started right on time and as people join us. So, like I said before, this is going to be a probably less than 1 hour, but a presentation and talking about Onshape and OpenBOM together. I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Joe Dunn, and I'm also joined by Oleg Shilovsky. How'd I do? You,
Almost.
I always kill
Okay.
it. So, and Steve Hess, and just a little background on both of us. Steve, you want to go to the next slide? Not that you need, I just, for those of you who don't know me, or not that you should, um, actually, it's a good point. I'll make introductions in a second, but for the webinar, it's a really good idea to um, ask questions. I mean, it's really the second bullet item there that's the most important. Is the whole point of this? You have us interactive. I'll make introductions in a second, but you can interactively type in questions. We'll go through them, and I always find the value of these webinars is the fact that you have us live and that we can really go through things. So really, there's nothing anything Onshape related, anything OpenBOM related. All everything is fair game. And Steve, if you want to go to the next slide. That's me. Okay. And we can go. I work for Onshape and I'm in charge of the developer relations. So it's typically the App Store and things related to our partners and App Store related types of things, among others. And then Steve, on the next slide, I think, why don't both of you introduce yourselves? Probably better than me doing it. So.
Sure, Joe. Thank you very much, and thanks everybody. So my name is Oleg Shilovitsky. I'm co-founder and CEO of OpenBOM. So would be happy to share what we do at OpenBOM with Onshape now. In the past, I did some work in the CAD industry, and my background is software and manufacturing systems.
Thanks, Joe. This is Steve Hess. I am a mechanical engineer by trade. I've spent some time in the semiconductor business on the robotics side, and for the last few years, have been involved on the tools side, working both at Onshape, and now very happy to be at OpenBOM.
Awesome. And Oleg undersold his, I would recommend his prolific writing on beyondplm.com. So if you haven't been to that site and read his blog, you definitely should. So he'll keep you up at night every day. So it's next slide.
Thank you, John.
So what we're going to do is really the focus of today is OpenBOM, and we'll give a demonstration of how it works with Onshape. Steve's going to give a good overview of it. I think on the next slide, and we'll cover obviously questions and answers at the end. Now, the real point here is, why are we doing OpenBOM, and more importantly, when and how should you use OpenBOM from an Onshape perspective? Because Onshape has BOMs, right? We have the ability to put a parts list in. We can do an indented bill of material, something we added. I don't know, a few. Everything gets added so quickly, but Onshape does your basic standard table-driven type of parts list bill of material, indented bill of material. It's there. It's always going to get enhanced a little bit, but OpenBOM is our most widely used application by our professionals. If you look at all the different applications in our App Store, when we measure the one that is used and has the highest percentage of pro users, it's OpenBOM. And there's a reason for that, because while you can always rely on Onshape to put the BOM in the drawing and give you a nice basic bill of material with balloons, if you need to put in, we find very often people have, let's say, needs to put calculations, need to do mass properties, need to put images in there, that typically they might use spreadsheets to do a lot of this stuff. And, OpenBOM fulfills the need of supplementing and going beyond what our basic bill of material does. If you need to talk to ERP systems and or PLM systems, and even sometimes if you have other CAD systems that you're working with, OpenBOM's a great way to bring them all together, and you can use this as your collaboration, as your management tool for those different pieces of data. Parts catalogs, going to McMaster's and using McMaster parts catalogs, OpenBOM directly interfaces with that and will bring in all the pertinent information for your bill of material and purchasing and puts it in there. And listen, I can keep going on and on. The point, and this is why we're going to do a demonstration and we're going to show it, is that this goes way beyond where, you know, we're doing the engineering bill of material, and then it's once you go in most companies, or many companies anyway, are going to want to expand that and go much beyond that capability. And I think, Oleg, why don't I let you speak to that a little more?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Joe. And Steve, please move it to the next slide. So I want to start from saying that OpenBOM is on Onshape App Store for almost 2 years now, and we are very happy from the partnership and the support that we are getting from Onshape. I think we got a great bundle and get great user experience. So very happy about this. So what we will be talking today, it's mostly to reflect on the recent 6 months of development that we've been doing. And a lot of things here went kind of intertwined and interactive between the enhancements that Onshape are doing and enhancements that we've been doing. Onshape was doing great work last 6 months announcing enhanced data management functions. And I'm pretty sure you noticed release management and some other things that Onshape released. What was released together with this is some advanced API features that allow us to provide a better integration with Onshape. And also think about more features, functions, and make a structure of these functions and put them in OpenBOM in a way so you can easily use it. So, for example, one of the questions that was raised during the Onshape BOM presentation, if you can import Onshape BOM in OpenBOM. So that's you will see one of those features today. So in a nutshell, OpenBOM is available through the App Store. Again, I think it's something that you're pretty much familiar with the App Store, how to get the App Store, how to get the application. When you get the application, you will see what you see now on the screen. You see OpenBOM completely integrated inside of Onshape. So you get a full Onshape experience, Onshape documents with tabs, where a bill of materials is completely integrated. But at the same time, OpenBOM users not necessarily should use it through the Onshape interface. You can go on the web browser and get OpenBOM directly from the browser, which brings a lot of flexibility in the scenarios that we can support. Please, next slide. So yeah, check App Store. This is the starting point with working with OpenBOM and Onshape. So you can see we get great rating on the App Store. And John, thank you for endorsing us. I think it was we get very good experience with Onshape users. So next slide, please. And yes, this is the main part that I want to focus on. If you ever tried OpenBOM, when you add bill of materials to Onshape, what you will see now is a new application screen that gives you 2 options. And the first option on the top is called Import Bill of Materials from Onshape BOM. We will make a demonstration later today. But the point is that we are automatically and painlessly bring exact bill of materials from Onshape. So you can use it inside of OpenBOM and do everything that OpenBOM allows you to do, but the data automatically comes from Onshape BOM. No definition, no settings, nothing should be done. One single click, you will get bill of materials exactly from Onshape. The second option is more advanced. We call it create custom bill of materials. There are a lot of additional features and functions there, and we will talk about them more. It gives you more flexibility. It gives you more customization and configuration of bill of materials that you can do for your specific needs. Important to say, those are 2 functionalities. The first is the free option. So if you get on Onshape App Store, subscribe to OpenBOM, you're automatically getting a free option, import BOM from Onshape BOM. The second option, create custom bill of materials, is subscription-based now. So you can purchase this subscription, and it has 21 days of free trial. So technically, you can experiment and you can try and see what is your needs and which type of application you like to use. So let's go to the next slide. And yes, this is in a nutshell the comparison of what features and functions available in both versions. So pretty much you can see that both are integrated apps and they can bring data interactively from Onshape. Both provide bidirectional instant BOM synchronization. It means if you change data in Onshape, it's changed in OpenBOM. If you change data in OpenBOM, instantly the data is updated in Onshape. You can share data outside of Onshape. We provide drawing support for both. And there are some additional functions, as you can see, in professional application. So we create custom BOMs for Part Studio, for assembly, we extract geometry, and do some other functions. So let's move to next slide. And I would like to focus on what specific values you can have in both applications. So if you decide to use free application, the big advantage that you're getting from OpenBOM is that first you will have a preview image integrated in the BOM. You can think it's a small feature, but it's a big deal for many users and many customers of us. It's a very much easy to see image inside of the grid. It helps a lot with the eliminating a lot of mistakes. You can add non-model parts. So the glue, grease, documentation, anything that you think about, not necessarily should be modeled in Onshape, and you can put directly to the BOM, simplify a lot of things that you might think about bill of material management. Rollups and calculation, OpenBOM is doing more or less what you can think about Excel, calculating things, but it's specifically designed to work for bill of materials. Like if you have multi-level bill of materials, you can calculate this to multiple levels and provide a rollup cost up to the top level assembly. We support very enhanced and configurable export functions. Excel, PDF, CSV formats, you can export information in any form. It's very useful. Not everybody in your organization is good with tools. Some people still like to have export. And this is the great enablement for the tool to be accepted by some people, and some other people can still use Excels. And sometimes you want to print PDF and bring it on the shop floor. It also can be a good and useful scenario. You can also share BOM with outside of Onshape, which I've often underestimated, but it's a simplified way to send link to anybody. Your customer, your supplier, your contractor, to see exactly the table with a list of parts. Don't underestimate the value of simplicity. And moving to professional app, there are a lot of additional features that you can get if you decide to go with professional app. Like we support BOM templates. Also sounds simple, but important. The BOM will come all time the same as you define it, with the right column, orders, and values. We can export geometry to BOM. Cut list, one of those functions that's very often used for this purpose. The geometry is useful. OpenBOM has a central catalog, part catalog function, integration with online catalogs. Speak about this later. We have user-defined views. This one is interesting, and you will see that not everybody in your organization would like to see the same information. Engineers want to see some set of attributes, but suppliers would like to see something else. You want to create a bid between two suppliers, provide them information, and see as an organization you want to see both of them, but each supplier will see his own information. We're integrating OpenBOM with other applications. CAD systems that you might be familiar with. You can bring part of your project from another CAD system and have a combined bill of materials together, created partially from Onshape, partially from another CAD, combine it together in complete bill of materials. And for those who want to do more custom work, we have a REST API that allows you to develop custom integration and application. And I think with this short introduction, I move it to Steve, who will take you to the application and let OpenBOM speak for itself.
Terrific. Thank you, Oli. Let me do a little housekeeping here, and get to my screens. Okay, hi everybody. Again, this is Steve Hess. I'm the Director of User Experience at OpenBOM. And thanks to Oleg and Joe for setting this up. In the time that we have, I'd like to take you through some of the activities that Oleg described. We will be creating a bill of material on OpenBOM using the free application. We'll also be creating something more sophisticated using the professional custom BOM. And then finally, time permitting, we will build our own simple bill of material without any CAD integrations. So let's get started and go through those things. There's a lot of features that we won't be covering in this demo. If you'd like to know more, just simply send an email to support@openbom.com, and we would be happy to set up some one-on-one time with you and your team over a WebEx or something. So for now, let's get started. I think everyone might be familiar with this popular Onshape model of the boat pump. This has been updated to demonstrate some of the latest features in Onshape and OpenBOM. So let's begin. This is an assembly of the boat pump. It's fully featured. It has all the behavior that you might expect from an Onshape model, and we will take a quick look at the Onshape bill of material as Joe described it. It is essentially a parts list. It has some capabilities to do some indenting, and for many of you, for some of you, the Onshape bill of material may be completely satisfactory. So for those of you that are interested in some more advanced tools, there's OpenBOM. So let's go ahead and create an OpenBOM bill of material from this model. It runs through the application process. We'll visit quickly here the application screen for OpenBOM that Oleg has taken us through. And we can see that we have the two options here, the standard free option and the custom. So I'm just going to choose the boat pump bill of material. We're going to import the BOM. So what's going on right now is OpenBOM is calling Onshape to collect the Onshape bill of material, and here it is. This is as Oleg mentioned, this is a completely synchronized bill of material that comes right from the Onshape BOM. So let's take a quick look. Some of the things that you'll see here that many people are interested in, of course, are the addition of images. We also keep a link back to the Onshape document. So this becomes a nice index to help you find the Onshape Part Studio where these particular parts are modeled. Some other information we've extracted are, of course, the vendors and other information about the part, its type and quantities, of course. So let's quickly take a look at the bidirectionality. I'm just going to make this quick, but we have a new vendor for our gasket here. It's going to be the ABC Gasket Company. And let's return to Onshape, and we see right here that our vendor is updated with the ABC Gasket Company. So that is the same behavior for all these properties, and it's bidirectional. And like I said, the updates, the updates flow in both directions. So this is a very sophisticated bill of material for free using OpenBOM. Sorry about that, folks. Let me just well, let's demonstrate a few other things that Oleg discussed. Let's add quickly some Loctite. I have 2 ounces of that, and this we like Loctite blue. And we can add some other things, grease, other things like Oleg mentioned. So these are items that were added that are not modeled in Onshape. And just to demonstrate how the persistency, let's go back and update the part number for the shaft in our Onshape model. And what we will see is that the information for the shaft has changed, but the Loctite that we added has remained persistent. So that is a really nice feature. You can also add columns as well for extra information. You know, CNC, machine center, shipping type. You know, things like that. So I'd like to just mention that in summary on the free app, the key features are, of course, adding non-modeled parts, being able to see your images, and finally, something Oleg mentioned as well, is a fairly sophisticated method of sharing this bill of material outside of Onshape with others in my extended enterprise. So with that tour of free, let's take a look at a more sophisticated bill of material using the custom bill of material option. So we'll again, starting from Onshape, add the OpenBOM application. And we're going to take a look at this section down here, which has some more options. The first thing you'll notice that in the custom bill of material, you have a number of different options for creating your bill of material or catalog. So we're all familiar with these things: parts list, single levels, multi-levels. And an interesting feature here is the ability to take an Onshape assembly and turn it into, or Part Studio for that fact, turn it into a part catalog. So if you're like me and you've got bar stock or maybe some standard molds or other things, you can bring that into an OpenBOM part catalog and let you use those items in other bills of material. So we're going to take a look at the multi-level. We will also visit the template for the OpenBOM Onshape integration. And this is where we can choose, obviously you guys can see these a variety of things that we may or may not want to include in our bill of material. These will remain persistent and will be in effect for every bill of material that I create following using the custom settings. So this is where you set up the standardization within your organization so that everyone sees on creation, everyone sees a standard consistent bill of material with the consistent set of properties. Another feature with the custom bill of materials is the ability to automatically include geometric data. Oleg mentioned this as well. We have there's a lot of Onshape users that are creating, doing woodworking or creating weldments, all kinds of other things. Creating the cut list for that is a great feature just by including your geometric data. So so we'll create that. Excuse me here. Sorry, my screen is refreshing. We'll create that professional level, multi-level bill of material. And again, OpenBOM is navigating through the Onshape document, bringing back a little bit more structure. Now, we see, of course, we have very similar information to the free bill of material. And we also have some additional information about sub-assemblies and their contents. So let me show you something that many customers like, which is the indented or the multi-level bill of material. And this is a great place to discuss what's going on here with cost and total cost. So the cost values in a subassembly are rolled up to the cost of the subassembly itself. And then that value is rolled up into the top level assembly. So consequently, what you're going to end up with is this laddered approach of cost of rolling up into the total cost of the next level up. So as your bill of material cascades down and you return back up to the top, you'll get an accurate sense of the cost of the entire structure. Something that's very, very hard to do with an Excel spreadsheet.
I would say somebody who wants to do it, contact us. I would like to see how you do it.
I'd like to see it too. It's a lot of formulas. So once again, I won't go through the demonstration, but we have full associativity between this bill of material and your Onshape model. So I'd like to take a moment to discuss, again, something that Oleg mentioned in a little more detail. And this is a concept of views. OpenBOM has the ability to create a lens that can be used for particular tasks or roles within your company. And through that lens, the user will see your bill of material in a particular way that you've designed. For example, this is more of the raw data view. It includes cost, as you can see. The manufacturing guy, you might not want to provide cost to the manufacturing floor. They may want part number, description, and of course, a very important feature for the manufacturing floor is the image. We can add additional columns to this BOM to this view, if we desire. And by editing that view, there's quite a few properties that are available. You can add those to that view and sort of expand the view for the manufacturing guys. So let's take a look at somebody else in your organization, maybe the planning group. So here's the planning group. They probably want to see cost, maybe some other information. Certainly they want to see the vendor that wasn't important to the manufacturing team. And maybe there's another, maybe the planning people need to see lead time. Let's take a look at the planning BOM, and we will, or the planning view. Well, let's add lead time. And I'm going to move that up a little bit in my. Okay, so the lead time column appears for the planners, and this is someplace where the planning group working with the vendor can fill in the lead times separately. The nice thing about this, you share this with the planning department, and you can rely on them to update lead times as they get information back from the vendor. Something else I'd like to speak about here is the flattened view. This is essentially what you need to buy and how many of them for the particular assembly that you're looking at. It drills down through the sub-assemblies. If we had this hex bolt existed in several sub-assemblies at several levels, this would roll it up to a total quantity so that the planning people know what to buy. And then finally, on this, I'd like to just quickly visit some of the features of export and import that Oleg discussed. We of course go to a number of different things, but that shop floor user experience, creating a PDF, and I'm going to do a little bit of. the screen work here. This is what you might expect from a PDF from OpenBOM. That's a nice looking document that can be in your shop traveler, you can share electronically, or if you're older school, you can print it out and give it to the guys on the shop floor. Okay. So that takes us through a couple of the use cases for use with OpenBOM and integration, with Onshape and integration with Onshape. Let's, since there's time permitting, let's take a final use case where we're going to just create a bill of material without any CAD integration. We will start from the OpenBOM dashboard. I won't spend a lot of time visiting this, but as you spend more time with OpenBOM, you'll become very familiar with the front end for OpenBOM, the various components, bills of materials, part catalogs, administration, and such. There's a number of features around inventory management, quantity on hand, creating order BOMs, batch orders where if you're running 10 of a particular assembly, we compute the quantity for each item based on a run of 10, perhaps compare it against the quantity on hand, develop a report showing how much of this or that you might be short. So if you're interested in that, there's more information on our website. Certainly Oleg or I would be happy to get with you one-on-one and go through some more of those inventory management use cases. But for now, let's create a skateboard using using OpenBOM. So it'll be the skateboard 3000. And the first thing I'll mention here is that we populate with some of the most common properties. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach a part catalog. My company makes a lot of skateboards, so we've created a part catalog that has a number of skateboard components pre-populated. As a matter of fact, every user account in OpenBOM has a demo version of this automatically populated. So you'll be able to, after this session today, you'll be able to return to OpenBOM and see some familiar things. So we're going to add that catalog. OpenBOM tells us, hey, look, there's some information coming from the catalog that is a duplicate of what you currently have defined in your bill of material. What do you want to do with that? Do you want to use the information from the catalog or from the bill of material? So simply put, I'm going to delete the properties from my bill of material and replace them with the ones from my part catalog. So, okay. Let's go through and add some things to our new skateboard. I know I'm going to need let's build the top deck first. So let's use the OpenBOM search mechanism, search through some part catalogs and find the deck that we know we're interested in. I can review the details about it, insert it into my bill of material. Something else that I think we're going to need probably is a wheel. Again, we'll jump down to search. I see we have a couple of things that hit on a wheel, some wheel bearings, truck assemblies. Again, right now I'm just kind of looking for the wheels. And we can go through this, and as you can see, we can build out all those components for our skateboard. We can arrange it into the various levels. So in the interest of time, I've sort of jumped ahead, as you might imagine, and created finished that up. And here is what a structured bill of material will look like for a skateboard. I've broken it down into a deck assembly, that added some grip tape. You can see that we can use, 2.5 feet. We can have quantities that are fractional, and based on the cost, computed the total cost. This is another example, even a better example here of the cost roll-up capabilities. So we see that a wheel is $4.33. We know that there's 2 of them on each truck assembly. That turns out to be $8.66. We know that that cost rolls up into, all of these costs here roll up into the truck assembly cost. At that level, we have 2 of those assemblies, and finally, the total cost is calculated to be 2 times the cost of the assemblies. So with this, we can see sort of, again, this ladder approach of the cost working up to the top and rolling up. And finally, when we add up all those costs for all those components, we see that right now we're at $54 for our skateboard. That feels, I'm a wholesaler, that feels a little bit high. I think I'll work with some of my vendors maybe to get some of these other costs down, perhaps use some other components. So with that, I think I'd like to turn this back to Joe and Oleg. Maybe we can take some questions. Again, there's a lot of features and benefits that we didn't cover. We'd be happy to do that with you one-on-one. So Oleg, Joe?
Yeah, thank you. Steve, Joe, please.
So there are some questions. So why don't I just read through a few of them? Steve, one thing, there's a question about, does OpenBOM work with Solidworks?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, as Joe mentioned earlier, if you're using a multi-CAD environment, you can combine bills of material from different CAD systems. For example, if my truck was modeled in Solidworks and the decks in Onshape, I could combine those into a multi-CAD BOM. The primary use case for that is the guy's using a PCB. You may want a PCB that comes in from your design software in your mechanical BOM. So the answer is yes.
Yeah, and if Steve, if you can jump back to the dashboard, OpenBOM dashboard on the screen.
Absolutely.
So there is an integration button on the top. And if you click on this integration button, you download available out-of-the-box integrations, and SolidWorks is one of them. So the plugin for SolidWorks will be fully integrated inside of SolidWorks. You will have toolbar with features and functions and buttons, and functionality of bidirectional data exchange. Very similar of what you've seen with Onshape. Of course, SolidWorks will not be on the cloud, so some cloud-based features will be disabled, but you will be able to integrate with data in SolidWorks.
The link in the OpenBOM, right? It says link to Onshape or link. You can actually click on the links for the different source data too, right? All integrated in.
Yes,
Yes.
Great. That's a great point, Joe. The link can be on taking you to the right location. Our SolidWorks integration can put data in the places that you might think obvious, like Dropbox, Google Drive, and some others. But something unique that we can do in integrating with Onshape is that our integration in SolidWorks can put your SolidWorks files to Onshape. So by taking this option, you can get your SolidWorks files taken to Onshape automatically.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Steve would love to demonstrate that, but I know this is on a Mac, and for some strange reason, SolidWorks isn't on a Mac. So, sorry.
That's true.
But you digress. Yeah.
I digress. Oleg, there's a few there. Why don't you read those questions? Rather than me do it. I think these are probably good for you.
Yeah, so the next question that we got, can assembly labor cost hours be added? Yes, OpenBOM, it's fully flexible, so you can add any property, and you can actually define labor as an item in a catalog and add it to the bill of materials. So there are a lot of flexibility how you can do it, and we would be happy to discuss it. And the next question that we have is the integration capability available in the free-to-use version. Yeah, that's actually a great question. It reminds me another question that we've been getting related to OpenBOM subscriptions. So there are 3 levels of OpenBOM subscriptions: free, team, and enterprise. And Solidworks integration is included in all of them.
Steve, you got that slide up. Didn't I see that in one of your slides? Might be good.
Yeah, it was on the last slide in the slide deck.
Oh, I'm sorry, in the slide deck, sure. Let me see if I can, let's see if I can bring that up quick, guys.
And while you're bringing this slide, Steve, we get another question. What versions of SolidWorks Inventor and other software does OpenBOM play nice with? Well, we place nice with most of them. Let's put this way: whatever you use, we will support. I've been seeing SolidWorks 2014. We've seen some Inventor older versions, probably back to 15. Again, we are happy to maintain the latest version. This is what we do. And we test back with the 3-4 versions of CAD software. But in a rare situation, we would be happy to take a look and support and see what can be done to support an earlier version. And yes, this is the OpenBOM subscriptions on the screen. So as you can see, user subscription is free. You can go and register to OpenBOM absolutely for free. You will get a single user working, and it's can be sufficient for many situations. All features and functions are there. Then we have a next subscription level that I would like to share some words and explanation about this. As you go beyond single person, your obvious choice, can I register a second user? And yes, you can register second user, second free user. So those 2 users will be independent and have access to all features and functions of OpenBOM, including integrations. And as Steve demonstrated, share dialog will be your tool to share information between these 2 users. Pretty much like you can think about Onshape or Google. You can click on the share button and say, I want to share my bill of materials with this user for read-only access or for edit, and it will become available. And again, you still stay free. So you might ask, why do you need team version? So this is where it comes to play. When you get more people and you get more information, you might see that spending the time on sharing data manually can be less efficient. And this is where OpenBOM comes with team subscriptions. The cost of this subscription is per team, not per user. And we allow unlimited number of users. But what we do is that we automate access of your team to the right resources. And as team administrator, you can decide who is getting access to what information pretty much automatically. And even more, our new advanced user-defined views functionality can be configured in a specific form, so every user in your team or extended team will be restricted to a particular set of views. So if you want contractor to be restricted to information in the view which excludes the cost or include cost, depends on your scenario, you certainly can do it. So OpenBOM with this team subscription allows granular management of accessing to particular sets of data in your team, and this is very powerful function, and you're getting it as part of the team subscription. In the context of Onshape work, it's also team subscription can be very powerful and useful because the data will be available and shared automatically regardless of what document you're accessing BOM from. So that's something that you might consider also as useful, because when you open Onshape document, you will get automatically access to bill of materials that embedded inside of this Onshape document based on your team definitions, which can be very powerful.
There's a question Steve covered, but it sounds like we probably could reinforce it. Just when do I use Onshape bill of materials and when do I use OpenBOM? You know, when is there an easy way to make that decision?
Well, yes. The Onshape bill of material will work for you, provided these are sufficient. The OpenBOM bill of material is a superset of the Onshape BOM, and that the free is. And then, of course, the professional or custom is a superset of that. So features and benefits expand as you move from the Onshape BOM to the free OpenBOM to the professional OpenBOM. For me personally, I think the inclusion of images in the BOM, even with the free one, is just a home run. And we have many customers contact us about, you know, can I get images in my BOM? Can I get images in my output from to PDFs? And of course, this is a big win for them. So I hope that helps. Certainly dive deeper if there's a specific question on that.
Yeah, I want to add on top of this that the immersive integration, that's the seamless integration that we have, allows you to make a step, compare, and see if it's worth it or not. So installing OpenBOM app in Onshape, clicking on one button, getting your bill of materials that you already created in Onshape, in OpenBOM, see if it has a value. Maybe you want to communicate it to your production planners. Maybe you want to export it to PDF and put it in the shop floor. Maybe you want to share it with your contractors and suppliers just as a list. So those are situations that you might consider OpenBOM useful as an application that expanding set of functions in Onshape, and also considering non-geometric non-model parts. It's also one step. If you need this, you step in OpenBOM.
Mm.
Cool. There's also, can you insert the OpenBOM into an Onshape drawing?
Yes. Yeah, it's very.
This function is part of the insert BOM in Onshape. I don't know, Steve, if you want to demonstrate it now, but
let's see. I have a. I don't have a drawing created in this, but I can certainly do that. It's suffice to say, I think, in the interest of time here, that it works almost identical to the insert BOM, insert the Onshape BOM. You just in the insert dialog, you just kind of navigate to BOM data versus Onshape data, or BOM app versus Onshape data, and choose the tab that you want to insert.
There is one advanced feature that might be important to mention. Steve, if you can move back to the bill of materials and
sure.
And the custom bill of materials, you have a setup inside of Onshape.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This was the BOM. Do you want to go to the create?
No, I want to go back in Onshape, inside of Onshape.
Oh, I'm
sorry. And the open tab, which is a custom bill of materials and not a standard bill of materials.
Okay, so here is
that one, the multi-level BOM that you created.
Yeah, I'm doing a little screen. Here we go. This is our professional multi-level right here. There you go.
I think it's an import. No, that's the imported BOM for sure. Yeah, there is a configuration of template for Onshape drawing. So what you can do there is that you can define what columns from OpenBOM bill of materials will be placed in the Onshape drawing. So you don't have to put all columns from bill of materials in OpenBOM to Onshape drawing, but you can define that, for example, 3 of the columns from this BOM will be placed in Onshape drawing. So that's the function of the custom bill of materials. It's not available in imported BOMs. It's only available in a custom bill of materials.
All right, gentlemen, I think that we've gone to the end of our time, and I see that the questions have, we've answered all the questions. So unless anybody has anything else to say, I'm going to say that this is probably a good time to wrap it up, and everybody should go get out there and use OpenBOM. It's pretty simple.
Thank you very much, Joe. Again, you go online, www.openbom.com, and you can talk to us online on the website, in the chat, in support, and we would be happy to help you.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, everybody.